According to a study by USAMP Research, 95% of professionals prefer to use business communication tools over face-to-face meetings. Business communication as we know it has changed, so how do we adjust? Welcome to the Business Writing Podcast. This podcast is dedicated to digging deeper into finding out how business professionals interact with one another in their field. Lee Richards, author of Effective Communication Between Workplace Peers, lays out 6 different ways to better peer-to-peer communication in the workplace. These are rules that we follow on this podcast to remain effective for you, the listener. First, Lee Richards says to commit to building relationships. Here on the Business Writing Podcast, we are focused on building a bridge between current professionals in the business world and students who are looking for more experience in their future careers. Next, we must seek to understand. We start by asking questions. That way, we can fully understand what it means for a certain individual to communicate within their field. This can be many different things depending on the field you're in. According to Dorothy A. Windsor, writing isn't always pen and paper. It could be a graph, blueprint, or even a voicemail. In the Business Writing Podcast, we will unpack the many different forms of communication that appear in the career paths of our guests. Third, we must avoid defensiveness. At the Business Writing Podcast, we don't have room for hostility and defensiveness. We are here with only one goal, to learn about writing and communication in its various forms. Then, Richards tells us to make it social. We care not only about our guests, but about our listeners as well. Every other week, we will unpack listener mail and hear about the ecology of writing that you experience every day. Number 5 is welcoming diverse viewpoints. We will interview anyone, no matter if you work at a fast food restaurant, a university, or you're the CEO of a giant corporation. We will consider your viewpoint no matter what your stance. Finally, we must be honest and direct. The Business Writing Podcast is simple, no flash, nothing intimidating. We are a group of people interested solely in the process of learning and growing as writers and professionals. We will be candid and open at all times. For our flagship episode, we will examine how business professionals interact not only on a peer-to-peer level, but also how their writing adapts and changes when talking to employees and superiors. We hope to see you soon.